This is the As Raw Live, number 6. We might have the co-host Polo here. He's unofficial co-host. Well, let me get this on right now. Last time I had to go run for my headphones. Let's get a little bit. Let's be a little more professional, so a little more prepared. There's a lot to talk about in boxing. You know what I mean? I've been obviously Errol Spence and Terence Crawford is huge right now. That's basically what everybody's talking about. It has a lot of buzz. They got to keep riding this momentum. They got to keep this conversation going. It seems like this fight's going to happen maybe, right after summer or later in the year, but how they keep this buzz going or how they keep, the momentum going like this is what they have right now and what they have captured. That's going to be the interesting part, right? That's going to be the part it's going to be, I'm curious the strategy on how they do that, but what they have right now is very good. I just did my audio podcast. It's on Spotify and Apple and basically everywhere else you can find a podcast. And I already broke down the fight. I already did this Errol Spence, Terence Crawford breakdown because when these fights happen, I kind of like do it the week of, right? I study the fight the week of, but this fight's so big, I just kind of already have my take on it. So I have it on my audio one, but I'll do it on this one, right? I think that Errol Spence, from what I see for you guys, is the best Errol Spence that there ever was. I think right now he's at his best. I think that because how crafty he is on the outside now, how smart he is on the outside, he could fight on the outside. It's not like Cal Brook. When he fought Cal Brook, I felt like he kind of was getting beat to the punch on the outside, and he kind of had to like force his way in and walk through shots. I don't think he has to really do that anymore. I think he is good on the outside to be even with anyone, and he's so good to like with his jab and maybe even like his like sweeping left hand, that he knows how to get you to be on the defensive, so where he can take the range from you and get on the inside of you. It's just those little things like that, like the things he just did with Ugas. I was like really impressed. I just think that this is not a diminish Errol Spence. What I thought I saw in the Danny Garcia fight, I think was definitely proven by the Ugas fight that like the one that fought the Errol Spence fought Danny Garcia was not on the top of his game. It was rust, or it was just it's just a little diminished at that point, and it needed the time maybe to recoup. Maybe all this time to recoup really did good for him, but he just looked on top of his game versus Ugas. And you got Terence Crawford, who looked very good against Porter, even though that was a close fight, and people feel like he might even been down on the cards in that fight. But I don't really think that Terence Crawford to me is not the kind of guy that really cares about being down on the cards. I really don't think I think he thinks like, I'm going to break this guy down. He goes into a fight thinking I'm going to get him out of there. I don't think he's going to look to win a decision. I think he's looking to say, I'm going to knock him out. And if he's able to survive me knocking him out, it'll be enough of a beating that I put on him to win the decision, to win the fight. I think it's the best time for these guys to get matched up. I think they're both in their prime. I don't want to hear anything. I don't think there's no excuses coming into this fight. Either one loses. I don't want to hear, oh, this guy's past his prime. He should have fought him years ago. No. They're perfect right now. They got all the wisdom, knowledge, experience, and all the skill and still the ability to do everything they want to do in the ring. How the fight looks, I think that it's, I think people want Hagler Hearns, right? I think everybody says that when these matchups are made. It's Hagler Hearns. I don't think so. I think that these guys are very smart, very crafty, very intelligent in the ring. They're going to see a lot of things, that the traps that each one of them is trying to lay, right? And I think that Spence will probably come out boxing early, similar to the Mikey Garcia fight. And he's going to want to be able to try to read and build his rhythm on what Terence Crawford's doing early. And I think Terence Crawford, he's going to be patient and kind of look to see what Errol Spence is offering. I think over time, when Errol Spence kind of puts a few rounds under in the bank, then he'll start putting pressure, look to go in the body. I think that's when Crawford will really open up. I think he'll really take his chances there. I think Terence Crawford is he's willing to gunsling with anyone, and it's not because it's because he truly believes in his ability and his timing and his speed and the adjustments that he can make on the fly and how quick he can make adjustments, especially like in mid combos, mid exchanges. It's just very rare what like the precision he has and the ability he has it's very rare to see. It's like, to me, I think it's one of the best of all time. I don't think he's second to none with that, his precision and the way he can go like mid exchanges like that, the way he could adjust mid exchanges, the way he's able to read what you're doing and that fast and live fire, to me is special. And I think that when Errol Spence kind of opens up and goes in on him, I think that he's going to get, I think those shots coming at him, it's just, to me, it's going to make it too risky for him to continue doing that. Even though Errol Spence, how great he is on finding the inside like that, to what it's going to take to get on the inside past Crawford, it's just going to be too risky. I think that Errol Spence goes back to boxing, and I think that maybe he has a decent lead, right, because of the early rounds, and maybe he thinks, let me make Crawford initiate, and let's not make it easier for him, and he just has to react to what I'm doing. Let's make him initiate the offense. I think Crawford's talented enough to do that. I think Crawford is a very intelligent fighter. I think he can do the way he's so balanced, moving backward, forward, side to side, that he will be able to initiate the offense. And I think that when his foot speed and the way he's going to be able to get in position and make Errol Spence have to react going backwards. And remember, Errol Spence is a very talented fighter, but going backwards, especially when he has to do like a two-step going backwards, or he has to, get out of position, he kind of stumbles. He does. He has moments where he stumbles. He also kind of loses his guard going backwards. He kind of gets stuck on one side, little sideways stance. I think that's the spots that Terence Crawford is going to be able to put him in. And I think that the lead left hand, right? Because he's going to stay in the southpaw stance to eliminate Earl's body shots, right? Because a lot of times when people fight Earl, the orthodox, and this leaves a wide open target for Earl's power hand, especially the body. I think Crawford's going to eliminate that by going southpaw. I think the lead left to get himself in, and that's going to cause Errol Spence to have to open up when he gets in. And the right hook, I believe, will be a key factor in this fight, in winning this fight and getting the stoppage for Terence Crawford, who will probably be down on the cards, but we'll get the stoppage late in the fight. That's my official prediction. I'm probably about 7 months early on, probably like, probably like 6-7 months early on that prediction. But I just wanted to get that out now because I feel like I'm gonna be talking this fight for a while, especially this year. So I wanted to make sure I had my opinion on it and had a breakdown on what it was going to look like. This weekend we have a Tyson Fury fighting. He's fighting Dillian Whyte in a fight that I guess, it's kind of mixed bag of it, whether it's a big fight or not. I think it's a big fight. It has, it's the heavyweight division. It's an important fight in the heavyweight division. Tyson Fury has claimed to being one of the best heavyweights, or the best heavyweight in the heavyweight division. So we're going to see how that goes. Dillian Whyte, who I don't think anyone really ever thought that he was going to be, or at least even in the conversation of being like the top heavyweight in the division. So I think a lot of people just expect, like I hear a lot of people picking Tyson Fury by stoppage. I don't think that's like a ridiculous pick. I think that's why everybody's picking it, because it seems like Tyson Fury was able to stop Deontay Wilder. He should be able to stop Dillian Whyte. But styles make fight, matchup makes fights, and Dillian Whyte's pretty good on the inside. I mean, he's not he's not an expert on the inside, but he can get a lot of power, and he's kind of compact with his shots. He could be very compact with his shots. And I believe that if you're thinking that if Tyson Fury's thinking I'm just going to apply the same pressure applied on Deontay Wilder, it might not work it's not going to work for all styles. And I'm really curious to see what kind of shape Tyson Fury comes in for this fight. Because if it's like Tyson Fury's going to come in around 270, 260, and that's kind of in shape for Tyson Fury, he can move around. He's a lot more sharper. I think that one smokes Dillian Whyte. I don't think Dillian Whyte won't even touch him. But if it's the high 280s, low 290s, Tyson Fury, who's going to want to stay in and take some chances, that's the best spot for Dillian Whyte to do some work and be effective in this fight. And I think that if it's the big Tyson Fury who's going to look to put pressure and smother, I think he'll win the fight. But I think it gets a lot more riskier on the inside. I think that opens Dillian Whyte to land some pretty decent shots. So we're going to see how that plays out. I'm going to pick Tyson Fury to win this fight. I think it's going to be, it's hard to tell. You know what I mean? Like you look at Tyson Fury and you're like, oh, he looks in shape, but how would I know really? Let's get him on the scale. Let's see what he weighs. But if he comes in heavy, which I kind of picture he does, and he stays with that aggressive style, I think it's a really highly entertaining fight. I think Tyson Fury is going to win unanimous decision. I think though that will allow Dillian Whyte to land some good shots, do some good work. I do expect Dillian Whyte to get a little frustrated with the jab and the 1-2s from a distance. And I do expect him to get wild, because he does get wild at a distance. He looks to like lunge with shots. So we're going to see how that plays out. Like I said, I had Tyson Fury. I think we will have an undisputed heavyweight title fight at the end of this year. So it looks like we might end with Errol Spence and Terence Crawford in an undisputed heavyweight title fight. I mean, that's let's see what Polo said. I don't know what that means, YP. Let's see here. Let's see if he's trying to hop on. So yeah, see Polo hops on right now. But I think we will get 2 major fights, and what's already been a crazy schedule for boxing, a great schedule for boxing is, remember, like, we still have Canelo fighting Bivol, and we're gonna have like a massive debate, especially if Canelo beats Bivol, and then you get Terence Crawford, Errol Spence, and people are gonna be like, well, who's number one undisputed, right? And I get kind of like frustrated with the undisputed conversation, because it just kind of depends. Like, I guess no one's wrong. It's just depending on how you look on it. Look at it. Like, some people look at ability, right? And that's like a judgment they're making in their own head, right? On what this person can do and what the fight would look like if they matched up together. But that's what, like, so people are gonna wonder, who's number one, right? If Canelo beats Bivol, which is him at 175, being the top guy at 175, a world champion, and then you have Terence Crawford and Errol Spence, or 2 pound for pound guys fighting each other, settling who's the best at 147, with both, whoever wins that's going to have a pretty damn good resume, adding one of each other's names on there. That's gonna be an interesting debate. I think that the winner of that Crawford versus Spence might take the number 1 spot, right? Especially because Canelo's going to go on to fight Golovkin, who people, I think we all kind of agree that he's past his prime, not the same Golovkin, and then he's might go on to fight Ryder after that. I think that just those fights, people are gonna, kind of like use that against him, and I think that would allow Terence Crawford, Errol Spence to move in the number 1 spot, and I don't have a problem with that. I do think that Canelo could get it back right away if he goes and becomes undisputed at 175. I mean, I think it'd be very hard to say that Canelo isn't pound for pound when he beat all the, most of the contenders at 167, beat the top guy at 160, was one of the top guys in the world, if people assume, right? It's maybe skill wise. Cleans out 154. Now there is the Demetrius Andrade. There's always going to be guys, right? If you're the top guy, there's always going to be guys you could face. But okay, so say he becomes undisputed at 175 and he beats Bivol and I'm blanking on his name right now. How am I blanking on his name? Birtavev, right? He goes and beats Bivol and Birtavev, and then he comes back down and fights Charlo and Benavidez, or Benavidez goes up to fight him. Like, it's gonna be really hard to start arguing against Canelo's resume. It just really is. I think right now maybe it can still be debatable just because, like, of what's happened recent, right? Because you had like Smith and Billy Joe Saunders, who are, not the biggest names over here. Let's see Polo here. Polo's gonna love to jump in the conversation. Polo, can you hear me?
Yo, my bad for being a little bit late.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, how long
you
you
been
been
in
live
space,
for?
man? No, I just been on for probably 5-10 minutes. You're good.
Oh, no, I wasn't in space, but what's it called? I was doing something between, and I had to do something real quick. But what's up, man? What's new with you?
What's up? Going good. How about you?
Just here chilling. Just got off doing some. I was at work and I did some reports, but everything is going well though, man. I'm excited for Fury versus Whyte.
Okay, so I feel like the excitement is kind of like I don't know. I feel like it's kind of a mixed bag. I'm excited for it. I feel like it's a big fight, but a lot of people kind of feel like they're kind of downplaying how big of a fight it is.
Nah, you know the story, bro. You know why people aren't happy. Come on, bro. Like, there's not that buzz because obviously, Fury beat a lot of people's fan favorite heavyweight, which was Wilder, and the way he did, and it's Dillian Whyte, another guy that doesn't really say good things about Wilder, so that's why it's not the atmosphere of the fight. If this was Joshua Fury, it would be bigger, but people would still try to downplay it. It's just a simple fact, bro. Because Fury beat Wilder twice, and Whyte, challenged Wilder, and obviously I think Wilder would have beat him, but he did say and text him that, oh, I'll never fight you. It's just the fact that they both one actually beat Wilder, and the other one always trashes Wilder. So that's all it is, bro.
Yeah, I can see that. So yeah, so we're gonna see. I mean, the numbers aren't gonna lie, right? Whether it's a big fight or not, but I'm excited for it. How do you see it playing out?
94,000 people, bro.
I know, huge.
I
Some
see
huge
Fury
crowd is
stopping
gonna
him
feel.
like in the 10th round.
Yeah. Okay.
They just said that Fury couldn't sell, but I'm like,
I remember a lot of people saying that he didn't
sell.
sell in Europe, but that's a huge number he's got there.
94,000 in your first fight in the Europe. That's like, whoa.
Yeah, it's like he's got a definite presence there. It just shows that if Joshua were to somehow pull out the fight with Usyk, which I don't think is insane to think about him being able to win that fight, but him and Fury, how big that would be. You know what I mean? Like, that'd be a massive.
Yeah.
You think who?
I think Joshua Fury is still a big fight, but I think
Oh,
what
it's massive.
Fury's
Yeah.
gonna do, I actually do think he's gonna. I think he is gonna call it a day. I think he'll beat Whyte, and then he'll have like someone that he'll probably try to see what the biggest money fight grab would be for his final fight. He might go home and go big and say Joshua, but I have a feeling it's gonna be someone that we least expected, and then he'll retire. I actually do see him because bro, he's caught in
Oh, you
three
think
paydays. He got this
you
one
think he's
because
gonna
like those
stop?
Wilder fights did take a lot of it.
I don't know. Why would he stop? I mean, he's right there at undisputed. He's right there for the biggest fight. That's gonna be the biggest payday, no matter what. Whoever wins the fight's the biggest payday. I don't. Yeah, I don't know why he would stop. I think that.
But I, I don't know if he wants to go for undisputed. I mean, bro, he'll beat Usyk, but it doesn't make sense. I mean, it's the biggest fight would be Joshua, not Usyk, though. If Joshua wins, I
No,
could be
yeah,
like, okay,
Joshua
he
wins
might
the biggest fight. Yes, I agree with
not
you.
Usyk, unless well, because the thing is, I think we gotta look at because White does have a fan base and he did bring a lot into it. But I think with who knows, man, we gotta see what he does. But I actually do see that him return because I'm telling you, those Wilder fights took a lot out of him, and he's getting to a certain age. I would like to see him get it one more fight, but I don't know, man. Maybe he goes out big, and we'll see what he does. But I have a feeling if this might be his final fight in between another fight. So like this might be his last fight. He might have one more fight, and then he calls it a day. I mean, he already, in the heavyweight division. I mean, he beat the best heavyweight, and the hardest puncher in the last decade, which was Wilder, and he beat Klitschko. Man, those are like he beat the
Yeah, the
lineal
Klitschko one
11
is
year
kind of
run.
like almost underrated now. Like
That
the
was like
Klitschko win is like no one even really talks about, but
no,
that's like a
bro,
huge, massive
no.
win. Like that's a really massive win.
Well, he beat, like I said, Fury he beat another fan favorite heavyweight. A lot of people like Klitschko in like his 11-year run, so that's why the way he did it. And it is the fight, wasn't the most exciting. It was kind of not a fan friendly fight, but I mean he still beat him. That win alone, it's like holy crap, he beat a 11-year-old uh heavyweight that was on a run that was lineal, and he got the lineal thing. So like that win itself is just like holy crap, that's like one of the biggest wins you can have. And then he beat Wilder, but
I was really impressed with
Wilder
it, but
did have.
I felt like people kind of try to rush under the rug because it was a boring fight. But I was like, man, I mean, Klitschko at that point was only
He
having
still
boring
beat him.
fights, but he was dominating, and this guy out Klitschko in my
Yeah, he
opinion.
was on every.
So yeah,
Yeah,
I
no
thought that
one
was
has
a
ever
huge
done
fight.
that.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't believe
11
like when
year
he was
reign,
fighting
bro.
Wilder. I was like, damn, that's a tough fight. That's a tough fight for nobody knowing who really Fury was at that point. But I was like, yeah, that's a really tough fight. I'm curious to see how that looks because that guy was one sided against Klitschko, and I was right. I mean, I knew that as soon as that fight happened, I was like, yeah, this is like what I've seen in those fights. And then he improved even from that position. So I really like Tyson Fury's game and everything like that. So I want to see how he looks. I hope that he does to kind of settle into like this heavy body that he used for Wilder. And I hope that he's as sharp as I think he can be. And when he's as sharp as he can be, I really think he's probably not touchable by anyone in the heavyweight division right now, including Usyk.
Definitely, man.
How would you
Definitely.
see that fight
Nah, he
going? Like
beats
if he
Usyk,
fought
bro. I
Usyk,
don't.
he beat Usyk.
I Yeah, he'll box him. He'll box him. I won't say he'll stop him, but he'll clearly outbox him, bro. I don't think he'll brawl because he's smaller. And Usyk does have. I don't know. I could see it play both ways, but I see him outboxing Usyk, possibly stopping him. But I think he beats him like a UD. Like it's gonna be a master class. But with Whyte,
Okay.
we're definitely gonna see him like outboxing him, but he's gonna bring it to him the second half.
I did kind of think though in the Wilder fight, like I saw it diminish in the product of what Fury was bringing. I didn't think he was at his best in that fight. I thought he was definitely better in the second fight, like not even close. And I think that the reason why he got like kind of dropped, he got dropped a few times in that fight just because he wasn't sharp. I didn't think he was as sharp as he could have been. So I'm super curious on like the weight he comes in because the only thing about Fury is like just by just like his past moves, right? Like he got really out of shape. I just think that sometimes like if he finds like I could just do this, like he'll just do that. Like if he won't cut weight, he won't do any of those things. So I'm very curious, like on how that looks, like what he does going forward. If he can come in like in shape. You there, Paulo?
Definitely.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, so we'll see how he looks.
The,
Go
the
ahead, bro.
undercard could have been better. Yeah, I'm still. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You were out for a little bit, but I hear you
Yeah, my bad.
now. Yeah, the undercard. I'm not even 100% familiar with the undercard. Let me pull this up real quick.
I was gonna say, what do you think of the undercard?
I haven't even looked into it. Let's see here. What I did because the fight I studied today was Dillian Whyte, Tyson Fury, and then I did Spence Crawford because I just wanted to have an opinion on it.
His
So let's
brother,
see
Tommy
here.
Fury, his
Oh,
brother's fighting
Tommy's
out
on
here.
it.
I'm a little
Yeah, Tommy.
disappointed.
Let's see here. Okay, so you got David. How do you pronounce his last name? Adeli. I've seen him before.
Yeah.
He's pretty smooth. Versus Chris Healy, Isaac Lowe versus Nick Ball. I'm not familiar with these guys at all. Tommy Fury versus Daniel Bojanski. Let's see what Daniel Bojanski's record is. I swear because they usually put some nonsense fights for Tommy Fury. So let's see here. 11-1. He's never faced anyone with a winning record. No, he's not 11-1. He has 2 losses. What the hell? Well, it says he has 2 losses here, but they have his record as only 1 loss. I don't know. That's Boxer List. But yeah, let's see. I mean, he's probably trying to earn that. I think I lost Polo. He's probably Tommy Fury's probably trying to earn that Jake Paul thing. That's basically what his career is gonna. If his career is a success, as far as like that's the most success that probably could come from it is just getting a Tommy Fury, Jake Paul fight and beating him. So we'll see, but he kind of will need to look impressive on this card to I think Jake Paul to do that fight. There's not a lot of options really for Jake Paul out there. Like I mean, he's trying to fight Michael Bisping. Michael Bisping only has one eye. I don't even know if like the commission will even sanction that. So obviously, I think that Jake Paul's kind of running out of opponents here. Ones that I think people will pay for. I think that they really kind of felt that when they had the late replacement for Tommy Fury with Woodley, and I think that didn't sell like the first one did. And I think that they know like they kind of need that name. They kind of don't have that name right now for Jake Paul. So Tommy Fury needs to look kind of impressive in this fight, make an impact to where like, okay, now we can sell this fight again, take that chance with Tommy Fury because he pulled that last time. But we'll see. It's not the best card. That's what happens when they pay so much for like a main event. They can't pay for an undercard. I mean, they're taking a chance here. They want to make sure that they're going to get their money back. So it's not to me. It's not surprising that the card's so good. It's just business. You know what I mean? They put the money into these massive main events. What are they going to do? But I just think that this fight has a lot of implications on it. It has massive implications on the heavyweight division. So there's no way to say it's not a big fight. Like imagine Dillian Whyte beats Tommy Fury. Like imagine he sleeps Tommy Fury, right? Like Dillian Whyte, and now Dillian Whyte is in position to get an undisputed heavyweight title shot. It's like you can't tell me it's not a major fight if that's what's possible coming out of this weekend. That Dillian Whyte is in position to become undisputed. Right. And say that, Joshua wins. And then now Joshua and Dillian Whyte are going to fight each other. And you would have to assume that Joshua is going to be the big favorite in that fight. So Joshua will end up being able to be a big favorite going into a fight to make him the number one guy after all these fights that we've had to get to this point. He's Joshua or Dillian Whyte is going to settle it in a rematch to see who the number one heavyweight in the world is. That's the crazy thing about boxing. That's the crazy thing about boxing and how fast and like a windy road it is to get to these points. I'll talk some MMA. I mean, PFL is back. I had to catch up on the card. I heard great things for Clay Collard and Jeremy Stevens. Collard had like a little run in boxing. He beat a few prospects, and then they put him in a real good guy. He's never going to be a high level boxer, but I kind of think that helped him in a way. It's not that Clay Collard changed his style, because he really didn't. He kind of stood true to his MMA style in boxing, but he just kind of got sharper with it because he just had to depend on his one style. I think the mistake that a lot of MMA fighters do when they come to boxing, and this is kind of has to do with what Joe Rogan said about Usman coming. Let's say we got Polo back. I'm pulling right now.
Yo, my bad, bro. I had to like.
No, you're good. You're good.
They kicked me out and I had to fix something. But yeah, bro. I apologize. I had to.
Yeah. I was just talking about. What's the name? Tommy Fury having to look good to get that Jake Paul fight, because that's basically what the best part. Like, if his career is going to do anything that's going to be worth note, it'll be a fight with Jake Paul, right? So,
dude, that's a payday. But does he
it's a
really
payday.
Does he really get anything by knocking out?
I think so. Yeah, I think he does. I think whoever knocks out Jake Paul is gonna get, like that's gonna be remembered forever. Like the guy that
Chavez
beats
Jr.
Jake Paul.
I think
I
you. I
think
think
Chavez Jr. is an option. I mean, what are the options right now, right? You got to have Chavez Jr. because not a lot of options for
Michael
Jake Paul right
Bisping.
now.
No, Michael Bisping.
But Bisping has one eye. He has one eye. I
But
don't think he'll be sanctioned. I don't think they'll sanction him. That's why I
wait,
was like,
is one of his eyes messed up? I don't really know. Like
yeah,
what's going
remember
on with
Michael
him?
Bisping? Yeah, he had one eye while he was fighting, but no one knew. So now,
Ooh.
like, he only has one eye, and everybody knows now. Like, there's no way anyone will sanction him to fight. So
I
then you
mean,
go,
he could
okay,
fight another. Oh, I don't know. He's gonna pull something that we know. But Chavez Jr. I think they might look into that because to be
that's what
honest,
I'm telling
bro.
you. I think it's Chavez Jr. or it's Tommy Fury because can't see any other options. Like MMA
But
options, everybody's booked right now. Like no one can do anything.
yeah, but here's another one though with Chavez Jr. Don't be surprised, bro, if you see him fighting Edgar Berlanga later this year.
Oh, that makes too much sense not to happen. And Berlanga, who is going to have to be protected at all costs for him to get W's. So yeah, I can see
No,
that
he'll
fight
get a title
happening.
shot. He'll get a title shot, bro. Because I'm not gonna.
But like,
He's under the
will he
WA
earn a
ranking.
title shot, or will
Hey,
he?
bro, I'm not gonna judge. I like there's some fighters that I like. I'm not gonna say names, but that they got a title shot. And it was kind of weird. Obviously, we saw that that they were
Well,
talented, but
let me tell you
they
something.
got
You and Broadway always talk about, everybody says Euro bums. Well, if Euro bums are really that trash, right? Then send Berlanga over there. Let him go on a run there then. Because he ain't beating no one for real. So if the European fighters are that bad, send Berlanga over there. Because that's the only chance he has. But I think he gets smoked by basically any top
Oh yeah, I know
15
that
guy. He gets smoked by any
definitely.
top 15 guy in the
Well, bro,
thing.
I
But
even think Zach Parker, the one that Demetrius Andre is fighting, will beat him.
yeah,
Based on what I've seen.
I have to look into Parker. I'm not too familiar with him. Everybody kind of keeps downplaying him, so I have to see what I see. But yeah, everybody keeps downplaying him. But Berlanga is like, to me, it's just I just don't see it with
Like
him.
he's on
I
borrowed
never did
time.
see it with him.
He got me with the knockouts. Don't get me wrong. I liked him. I was like, oh, he's delivering. He's a fan friendly fighter. He's getting the knockouts. But then after that fight he had with that one dude, Marco, whatever is it, Caceres, I saw like, yo, this guy, he's on borrowed time. That fight kind of
Yeah,
showed me
yeah,
like that.
yeah,
And Billy Joe Sanders
definitely.
knocked that dude out. Remember Billy Joe Sanders fought him on the
Yeah,
KSI.
but Billy Joe Sanders kind of had a hard fight with him too, though.
But
Because
bro,
yeah,
no, the
I
guy
was
was
at that
tricky,
fight.
but yeah, but you saw when Billy Joe turned it up though, he
Yeah,
actually
he turned
knocked
it
him
up.
out
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
And Edgar Berlanga tried his hardest, and he almost got stopped. I'm telling you, bro, if that fight would have gone 12 rounds, he was gonna get stopped, bro, because he hurt his bicep and he was getting hit with some shots that, like, bro, he's on borrowed time. Like, I like him. He's good for boxing. Like, he does bring a lot of fans, but he's on borrowed time. But they're gonna try to match him up as often as they can. They'll try to get him because the Travis Jr. He gets that. That's definitely gonna sell. That'll sell out at the MGM. Because
What does he
the
fight?
name
What does he
Travis.
fight at? He fights at 167. Berlanga?
168. 168.
So he would have to go up to fight Chavez. So he had to go like 175 to fight Chavez.
They can make it a catch weight, but that's an
Yeah, it'd be
easy
like a
fight. He could.
catchweight fight. Yeah, it'd be a
Yeah, but
catchweight
bro,
fight.
that's a name though. He could be like, I beat a world champion. I like
No, yeah,
clowning.
yeah, yeah. That's that's the Chavez Jr. That he's the good for a good gimmick like that.
No, in his time he was good, bro. I like watching him fight. I watched a lot of his fights.
We got another guest. I'm gonna add him real quick to the stream.
Yeah, I had him.
What's
I'm
going
messaging.
on, bro?
What's up?
Yo,
How's it
is this
going?
Casemiro against Butler, yeah? Are you watching the Casemiro against Butler?
Oh,
yeah,
no,
I'm
we're not
watching
watching that right now. Are you watching that? Polo probably is. Polo watches
Wait,
everything.
Oh
the Casemiro.
shit!
Wait, the
I've
fight
clicked on
is
the
on
wrong.
right
I
now.
clicked on the wrong. I clicked on the wrong thing.
Oh man, yeah. I was like, no, we weren't even talking that. But hey, Casemiro's not even fighting.
He's fighting tomorrow.
No. I think I'm looking. It's all the build up. It was the build up. I clicked on some shit, bro.
I got you.
I clicked on some shit, bro.
Sorry, we're talking boxing, but not Casemiro Butler. We're talking boxing.
Yeah, we're watching that fight tomorrow. I'm watching it.
What are you talking about? I'll dip. Like, well, what are you
Okay,
talking about?
we're talking about what do you here? Then I can tell. Where are you from?
I'm from the UK, bro.
Okay, I figured that. What do you think about Tommy Fury versus Whyte? Dillian Whyte.
Come on, man. Tommy, you on about Tyson Fury? Tyson Fury against Whyte, bro.
Tyson Fury versus Whyte.
Yeah, that fight's only gonna go one way, man. I think Tyson Fury maybe get the KO maybe in the next 6 rounds, or Whyte may win. So we're gonna have to see, bro. We're gonna have to
Yeah,
see.
I'm telling you what,
Uh,
Tyson Fury comes in with the same style he fought Deontay Wilder. White's gonna have some moments in that fight. Like he's gonna have some opportunities. I think that he
yeah,
can. If Tyson Fury comes in shape, which he didn't last fight. If we're gonna be honest, he didn't come in shape last fight. If he comes in shape this fight, he can outbox him. But if he comes in out of shape and wants to just use his power and puts the pressure on, White's gonna have some opportunities in that fight.
yeah, 100%. It's all down. Like I've been drinking all day because I work in the casino. So it's 7 a.m.
Hey,
It's 7 a.m. in the UK, bro. I'm a
wait.
bit.
The UK has casinos.
No, that's a bro. No,
Hey,
that's a bro. There's Mexican dudes like me here, bro. Crazy.
I heard there is
No, that's a
Mexicans
bro.
in the UK.
I'm the first one you met, bro. No, I'm actually English. I'm not Mexican at all.
No,
But
I know.
listen,
What part of the UK are you from? I'm actually thinking of going to the UK for the Canelo fight. If he fights in the UK, that's where I'm going. I'm
you're
saving my
bad,
money.
bro. We're not gonna let you in, bro. We're not gonna let you in, bro.
Why not?
You're bad, bro. You're bad, bro.
Is Tyson Fury a big fight over there? Is he a big following over there?
Yeah, he's massive over here.
Of course he is, bro.
I don't know. I heard he wasn't. I heard from people he wasn't. He wasn't a massive following. Is it recent? Like, is it a recent following, or has he been a massive following over there?
Yeah, he's massive over here. It just depends whether he's got the ability to pull it off. I think he'll beat that guy. What white shit, bro. That guy shit, bro. That guy ain't gonna do shit. So
Oh
yeah,
man, well, if he does, man, I'm gonna have to put this on my Twitter to you saying this, man, because you're gonna have to
Nah,
own up
bro,
to
you
you.
can't say that. No, don't say that, man. You're gonna jinx Fury, bro. White is good, but he's not like Fury's just a better boxer. I think White is gonna have his moments, but I think Fury is gonna be too much the second half because White doesn't have a good casting. In the early rounds, bro, he's really dangerous and he goes to the body very well. And I know Fury does not like it to the body, and he has struggled against smaller fighters, but I think Fury does everything better. Like everything. He's just a better overall boxer. He's the only thing I can say Whyte does better. He goes to the body, but other than that, Fury's just gonna I think Fury's gonna put it on him. I think Fury gets a stoppage.
yeah. I think
Yeah,
maybe in the 8th round.
yeah. Everybody's
In
popular with
eighth.
that Wilder. I mean, the Fury pick for stoppage. I'm gonna take Fury by decision. I'm gonna take Fury by
Nah,
decision.
bro. I don't like Whyte's gasting unless he goes, holds on, or puts something that we never seen. Because bro, I don't trust his gasting. Like it's just he's going against Fury, and like you gotta have
This
a
man,
gasting when you're fighting.
he's gonna get destroyed, man. That guy can't fight.
We're gonna see. I'll know by the weigh-in. If Fury comes in 270 pounds, it'll be one-sided. If he's 290, we got to fight.
He's gonna
Yeah.
come overweight, bro. He probably I don't know what weight do you think he'll come in for?
I think to me, I would assume he's gonna come like 280, 290, but he kind of looks, he kind of looks a little thin. It's hard to tell. It's really hard to tell with that guy's body shape.
Oh, we were talking about the undercard, but I kind of left during that time. No, I feel like they could have done better, bro. They could have added a yard. They could have added.
There's
a
so much
better,
money that they put in the main events. Like, what are they gonna do? You know what I mean? They
but I
put so
mean,
much money in the
Anthony,
main event.
they could have probably convinced Billy Joe to fight on the card, bro. You know, get him against someone to tune up or something.
Billy
He's a
Joe.
bitch, bro. That guy's
How
a
is he a
bitch,
bitch?
bro.
How is he a bitch, bro? Like, come on, man. I like that guy. That guy's a funny character.
Yo,
You're a
that
face
guy's
broken.
he's a punk. But do you want me to put my face on, bro? That
No,
guy's a
you're
punk,
chilling,
bro.
man.
You're
Yo,
chilling.
listen, nobody wants to watch Billy Joe Saunders fight, bro.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not too
Come
familiar
on,
with like the UK, like what you like. Who's huge in the UK? Like what fighters right now? Give me top 5 fighters. Who's huge
Billy
in the
Joe
UK?
definitely was big.
Me.
Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah, nah, bro. I talked to the UK guys. They did like Billy Joe. Even though he was a character, he was
Oh, come
for the
on, man.
period of.
Nobody liked him, really. Like the real,
Nah,
like,
they liked him,
yo,
bro.
listen. I'm 50 years old next year, bro. I never liked him, bro.
Because his
Whatever,
character,
like
bro. There was literally
I
a lot
mean,
of UK people, bro.
character, bro.
Asia,
Character, bro.
Asia,
This guy's
the UK flew. The
Rome
UK
said
people flew.
Connor Ben's big in the UK.
Yeah,
I think
kind of Ben's big, but listen, that man Billy Joe Saunders, he was set up to get beat, bro. That
like
guy was nothing, bro.
I mean, he beat Andy Lee, man. Come on, Andy Lee. You're gonna tell me Andy Lee wasn't?
Andy Lee, bro. Come
He
on,
schooled.
man.
Well, I mean, he dropped. I mean, Andy Lee had some good
he
wins. I don't know.
schooled Andy Lee and he schooled what's his name? The one that beat
Chris
Golovkin
Eubank.
beat.
Oh,
No,
Chris Eubank. He beat Chris
yeah,
Eubank.
yeah, but he
That
also
was
beat what's the name?
No, he
The one
didn't beat
that
Eubank,
John
bro.
Ryder.
Benavidez
He
is about
schooled
to fight.
John Ryder. Oh, David Lemieux.
Yeah, he beat.
David
Oh,
Lemieux.
come on, man.
But bro, he schooled two of the UK guys that you guys really were hyping up.
Yeah, but he
Eubanks
only
and John
beat them
Ryder.
through unanimous
Nah,
decision. No,
nah,
what I
but he
said, what I
schooled them.
said.
Listen to
No
this.
I mean, that's
way.
a
No,
style,
no,
though.
no, no,
I watched
no.
Israel. I watched the UK fighters. They were behind
No, but
Eubanks
that was
and
by
John Ryder, and he beat
unanimous
him.
decision. That
But
wasn't
he
by
schooled them.
knockout.
Yeah,
He's
but
not a
okay,
No,
but you don't
no,
have to be a
no,
knockout.
no,
knockout.
no,
You
no.
don't gotta
This is
get.
by
He schooled them.
listen,
Them.
listen.
He schooled
That's
them.
wrong.
Stop it. Every
Nah,
time,
nah,
a
bro.
UK fighter gets beat
You're
by another
capping me,
guy,
bro. You're
you
capping me,
guys.
bro.
I've talked to a
You're
lot of
capping
UK
me.
guys, man.
Yeah,
He
but
schooled
I
John
spent a
Ryder.
lot of years.
That
Like
he broke
I
when he
spent
beat
6 years
Eubanks.
living in Spain. I spent 4 years in Mexico. I spent 2 years in Morocco. Listen, bro, you don't go around saying that like Billy Joe Saunders hoeing people off on a unanimous decision. I watched that Lemieux fight that you
Lemieux,
was
that's the
on
name I was
about.
looking for.
Yeah, I watched that fight that you was on about. He ran for 12 rounds like a bitch,
Oh, you're talking
bro.
about but because his
He
style.
schooled
But listen,
Lemieux. Come
hey,
on,
No,
he
he ran
schooled
like a
Lemieux.
bitch, bro. He ran like a
he
bitch, bro.
schooled
He
John
schooled
Ryder too. Hey, Israel.
Lemieux. He
Hey,
schooled him.
Israel. They were
No, no,
really
I know. I
Israel.
saw that fight.
Israel. They were really high on John Ryder and Chris Eubanks. When he beat Chris Eubanks, a lot of people in the UK weren't happy because his dad is a
Used to
legend in the
run.
way. Well, it's his style. He has his style. That's his style. I mean,
I
I
don't give
can't
a
hate
shit
on him.
about his style. I don't give a shit about his style.
You
Listen,
like
that
come forward
style ain't gonna
fighters?
do shit. That
I mean,
style, nah,
well,
Okay,
it
well
nah.
depends.
then,
Look, I'll get
like,
you
who are your
wins. I'll
favorite
get you.
fighters? Lecter, who's your favorite fighter? Who's your top three?
Well,
I'm gonna say
well, at the
if you say
moment,
if you say Nassim
oh,
Hamed, man, if you say Nassim Hamed, man,
there's
you're
no
on.
Nassim Hamed coming into that top 10.
Okay, let me see. Let me see top three. Give me top three.
At the moment,
Yes,
or
at the moment. At the
overall,
moment. No, at the moment.
uh,
At the moment.
at the moment, I got Inoue. I got
Okay, that's
Inoue
a
in
good
the
one.
top
That's a good
three.
one.
I got Donaire, and I got Usyk.
Oh well, then Donaire versus Inoue, which might happen. That must be like your match made in heaven,
Yeah,
right? That must be your dream.
it's
Hey, you
that
got no Nello? Nelo's
say
not in the
again.
cover. You got no Nello in your
Canelo's
top
in
three?
Canelo's in my top 5. Yeah, he's in my
Wait,
top
but
5.
Usyk, he kind of boxes. He don't mind winning a
Yeah,
decision.
Usyk's levels above Canelo, bro.
No, levels above Canelo.
Nah, levels above Canelo.
Yeah, come on,
Oh,
bro. Come on, bro.
I don't know, man. Hey, all I know is Canelo
but
fighting
but
the
listen, I
Chisora of the
will
super middleweights. He wouldn't have looked like that. I don't know, man. The Chisora fight kind of. That's a Canelo fighting Rosado, man. If he looked like that, man, he would get so much criticism. I don't know, man. If he fought like the Rosado of his division and he looked like that in that fight, I don't think Canelo
we'll
would,
see. We'll see after the Canelo Bivol fight. When we know what happens after that, we'll
Okay,
know what level
But here's the
Canelo's
thing,
at.
though. He's
yeah, but you
stepping
know
up,
that
though.
Bivol's a tough fight. Bivol's a
Yeah,
really tough fight.
but here's
It's
the
a
thing, though.
major fight.
It's a
It's the
major
best
fight.
fight.
Yeah, but
Major
he's
fight.
not even
It's
supposed to be
tough.
in that division. He's
Yeah,
stepping
I
up.
think
This
that
guy's
people are
trying
trying to downplay that because Bivol maybe doesn't have a name or whatever it is. Bivol's a tough
It's a
fight.
massive. It's a
Yeah.
massive fight. It's a
And if he goes
massive fight.
undisputed, I don't really care about belts, but if he beats Berchev and Bivol at 175, that's pretty insane. Like that,
he gets undisputed.
Canelo is not really in the conversation of boxing because he's sort of he's not really in that conversation at the moment because he's doing so many different things that you can't really discuss it. So I could see Canelo going up and doing it. Canelo's not really. It's very difficult subject to discuss.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Explain.
It's sort of different. Like Canelo's sort of gone to the level at the moment. Like Cinco de Mayo fights have been going on for 6 years. It is boxing, but it's not boxing.
You're saying like as far as like star power, or you're saying like as far as Like, are you saying as far as like his name's bigger than boxing, or what do you?
I think it's got to the level where it's different. I don't know what's going on with him at the moment. It's got to a very bizarre level. Like if he beats Bivol, and then he's obviously gonna want to fight. But I think he'll fight Beterbiev after Bivol.
Well, he's got Golovkin signed.
Yeah,
Golovkin's
but
next.
Well,
so here's the thing, though.
Golovkin's gonna get destroyed in that fight.
Yeah, he is. No, he is. But
even if he listen, if even loser gets to draw his shows because he stepped up. Like, to be honest, if we look at the divisions, they're good fighters.
Golovkin doesn't even deserve a rematch. He lost both fights. 7-5.
In your opinion?
My opinion, he lost the first fight 7-5, and he lost the second fight 8-4.
I gotta look at the first fight. I'm gonna be honest with you. When I scored the first fight, I scored it for Canelo, but I gotta look at it again. I think
I've scored them both.
As soon as Canelo started boxing that fight and didn't go to war, I thought they were going to score against him no matter what, because he didn't give people what they wanted to see.
Yeah,
so I thought
and then the second fight, he came forward. He won the fight.
He made Golovkin box in that fight.
Yeah, and the thing is, Triple G had his fans like, bro, Canelo won them. Like, it's not controversial to say he won both. It's just the draw was fair because Triple G did do better in the first fight.
Both.
The second fight, Triple G was getting hit with some shots. And if Canelo would have went to the body, I think he would have stopped him because Triple G was getting tagged up. If you look at his what size, it was red, bro. Like Canelo was having a field day with his body. I think Canelo should have gone to the body and he would have stopped him, bro. Because Triple G was
But if you watch the first fight, he was getting lit up in the first fight as well. You need to replay that.
Yeah, like I thought Canelo was countering pretty well in that fight. I thought he was boxing pretty well. I just thought that as soon as he took a back step and chose a fight like that, they were never going to score it for him. I was like, he's never going to get a win.
Shit.
Yeah. They weren't going to give him a score. So that's what I thought really would happen. Is like as soon as he said a back step, people were like, no, this is not what I wanted to see. This is not what I expected in this fight. So it doesn't look like a Canelo fight. It looked like he was afraid of the power. That's what it looked like. That's the perception.
I don't know what goes on in America with scorecards with Mexicans or dark colored people. I don't know what goes on because, like, I'm white. I'm from the UK. I don't know what the fuck goes on there with scorecards or whatever. But I saw. Do you want to know what I saw with the first fight with Canelo and Triple G? That was a Canelo win in the first fight.
I gotta look at it again. I agreed with you when I first saw it, but I gotta see it again. It's like, you think you remember what something happened, and I gotta see it again.
I'm just
Canelo had him. No, I've heard this. Canelo had Triple G missing in that first fight. A lot of his shots weren't landing, bro. He landed that jab, obviously, because that's his. And Canelo was. It's just he wasn't aggressive. What gave it up is he wasn't active the last rounds. That's what gave it up. That it made it look like Triple G. But the second half, bro. I mean, the second fight, Canelo just put it on Triple G, bro. Triple G was losing that fight.
You could have had that 9-3,
bro.
You could have had that second fight 9-3,
bro.
You're not a Joshua fan?
Say again.
You're not a Joshua fan?
Not really. The heavyweight that I like at the moment is Usyk.
Yeah.
I give him respect. I give Usyk respect.
Before Usyk was in there, I mean, come on, Joshua was your guys. That was your guy. That was the best guy you guys had.
He's good. Yeah. I got a lot of respect for him. I think he's a great fighter. But the thing with him, I just think it's his trainer. He's got a guy called Robert McCracken.
Yeah. That's what everybody says. Yeah, McCracken.
And I don't think he's doing him any good, bro. So it is what it is.
I mean, I don't know. He had a lot of success. You know what I mean? Like, he had one bad performance, and I think everybody's like, well, they got to get rid of this guy.
It wasn't that bad, to be honest.
I thought he was competitive in that fight. I thought it was actually a lot closer than everybody has it. I thought it was a lot closer.
Usyk looked good. That's it. But he'll beat him in the rematch. But I have a feeling, bro. I think Joshua has him in the rematch. Somebody tells me that.
I think that everyone when everyone was predicting that fight originally, everyone was predicting Joshua by KO, right? Now Usyk looked good and he wins the fight, right? Usyk wins the fight. Now it's like impossible to picture Joshua winning. It's like, I don't see that. It's like Joshua could win that fight. He did good things in that fight. Why couldn't he win it?
I had Usyk beating Joshua. I had Usyk beating Joshua because I think Joshua. I told everybody, bro. I'm gonna look for my. I said that Joshua was trying to box Usyk, but Usyk's a better boxer. But this fight, Joshua was gonna bring the fight to Usyk and make him fight on his back foot, and you'll see that Usyk is gonna get cut in the fight, and they're gonna stop it because it's gonna be like bad cuts. Like his face got bruised. I'm telling you, Joshua puts it on there and
Yeah,
makes it a
he
tough.
did get
Like
bruised.
Joshua
He got
will
bruised in
stop
the face
Usyk.
in that
The
fight.
only
He was
thing, the only
bruised.
thing I don't like about that, and I've heard people say this,
Yeah,
is I don't think Joshua has like he's not gonna fight like all of a sudden he's not gonna start fighting like who's the guy that fought Usyk before Joshua? Um,
Uh,
Chisora. He's not gonna fight like Chisora all of a sudden.
Chisora.
Okay, that doesn't have.
yeah.
Yeah,
Chisora.
he's not gonna put that kind of pressure on. So if he tries to just do that, like I'm just gonna rush him, he's gonna get knocked out by Usyk. I think he's got to fight at a long distance, fight at range, and make Usyk walk into big power shots, big power jabs, big power right hands. I don't think you're gonna
I'm
just rush
trying.
Usyk.
I'm trying not to make everything from a Western standpoint where AJ should do this, AJ should do that. Listen, he lost that first fight. Like I live in the West, but I'm not trying to say, oh AJ, like I'm so disappointed that he did this. Like I am from the West, but listen, he lost the first fight, so I wouldn't have given him a rematch. To be honest, he was lucky that he got that clause.
Well, he
He's
has the
getting
claws, yeah.
yeah. Well, obviously he got the clause because he lives in the West. Shouldn't have got that clause. Got beat. Uh, he was running on the ropes in the last what
That
was
he
it,
was.
30 seconds of the
Yeah, he
12th
was.
round. So he didn't deserve no rematch. When you get beat, you have to go and fight. Why is it now this Western media and all this shit? Yeah, you're guaranteed a rematch. He
A
doesn't
side.
deserve a rematch.
It's the A side, but I don't mind it because in boxing, the hardest thing we have to do is storylines. Like we don't build enough storylines. Like matchups aren't big enough. In a rematch, you have an automatic storyline, so it's automatically big fight. Like Usyk and Joshua
Yeah,
is
it's
one of
a
the biggest
great
fights of the
fight.
year.
Yeah, but at the moment he's not that great because like Usyk's obviously back in his he's trying to fight for his country. This guy.
Yeah,
So come on, man. Listen. I would have give. There you go, Joshua. Have the belt. You got beat. This guy's like trying to fight. His country's getting bombed from the air. This is not really fair. So have your belts. Go and fight. This fight ain't gonna really be fair because Usyk been fighting um for his country and stuff like that. So
I
Usyk's
think.
not been training.
Yeah, I think there was. There's like a precedent where they could have did like interim champions and let Usyk keep his belts until he can come back and he feels like he can fight at that moment because his country's at war. But he chose not to
Yeah,
do that. He chose to get
but
the payday.
yeah, Usyk rather fight, so I think he'd rather go and fight, and he's not Keith Thurman, so he'd rather fight. He doesn't need the pay. Usyk doesn't need the payday. Doesn't need. I think he'd rather just go and fight. And I'll tell you what, if Joshua wins, which I hope he does, because I am English, by the way, I do want Joshua to win that fight. I'm not being nasty or anything, but Joshua against Fury, man, what a fight!
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's huge. That's a humongous fight. Like that's so big. You know what I mean? It's probably the biggest, European fight, right? UK fight, you think? The biggest UK fight of all time?
Yeah, I think it's probably one of the biggest. It's a massive fight.
Yeah,
Fury
yeah.
against
Well, I'll tell
and
you what's
who
so
knows?
I'll tell you it'd be
Like,
hilarious if it ends up being Joshua versus Whyte. I'll tell you that's hilarious.
yeah,
If it ends up being
it
Joshua
could
White
go
in a
that way.
rematch, yeah, that's hilarious. If
Yeah,
it ends up with that for undisputed.
and this is the thing. You see, everybody thinks that White is just going to turn up for a paycheck. White can fight,
That's what I'm saying.
so
That was my argument to start off. Yeah, I think White could be in some good situations in this fight. We're gonna see.
yeah, I do think that Dillian White can actually win that fight. So if he can actually land his left hook and do damage, then you know this is a very very intriguing fight. It's
Yeah.
not an easy one to call. So
No, I tell you,
um,
I'll know by the scale. I'll know by if Fury's in shape. I'll take Fury all 100%. If he's not in shape, I'm still gonna take him, but it's gonna be a tough fight.
yeah, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be a great fight, but it's interesting, very very interesting, and that's the main thing about it.
Are you on boxing Twitter, Humble Actor?
No, I don't do any shit like that. I
Oh
I
no.
just go on the internet. No, I'm too old for that. I'm like, I'm an old guy. I don't do any shit like that.
I bet you didn't expect to be doing a boxing podcast right now. I bet you.
No, not really. I'm a bit tired now, but yeah,
Well, hey,
thanks
man.
for having me on, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Anytime you see me on here, if you want to jump on, just jump on. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming on, man. I'm probably close up it now, but I appreciate you jumping on and giving me that UK point of view. See, that's exactly what I needed.
No, you just give me such a good evening and something different from what I normally do. And wow, I was gonna go to sleep, but yeah, man, you kept me up for a few hours on that, and that was nice, man. That was
All right,
nice.
no problem, man. I appreciate you doing it. Have a good night, man.
Sleep well, sir. Sleep
All
well,
right,
sir.
all right, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening. Been the Ezra podcast.